Why Can't I Do Music Good is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. If you would like to be part of that audience, please follow us at twitch.tv/oddhobs. That is twitch.tv/ODDHOBBS. And then you'll be notified as to when we go live. You can get involved in the discussion. Now, without further ado, on with the episode.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're going to have to do it again, though.
But were you not?
I had you muted.
Lawrence.
So here we go. We're going to do it again. Ready? Ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the 3rd of June. The year is 2021, and this... Fuck. Okay. Too good to be true. Okay, let's try it one more time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck. Do you want to do it?
You're psyching out. Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
Yeah,
right.
it's not that different.
No, I don't even know the date. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. It is the 3rd of June. The year is 2021. My name is Theo Dehaney.
My name is Lawrence Hobbs.
And this is Why Can't I Do Music Good? It's a show about music, about making music, about why we're bad at making music, and about what we're trying to do a bit. Hello, Lawrence.
Yes, you did it. Hello. Do you want to keep that all in, or like the whole thing, or do you want to cut it to right the bit where you bring us in the intro?
Just my perfect intro. I don't know. I sort of feel like take it for the bit where you said, "Oh no, we're gonna have to do that again because I muted you."
Okay. Yeah.
Then, yeah, that works.
Cool.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone.
Oh, it's weird how saying the intro suddenly makes you feel like you're personally responsible for whether the show goes well or not.
Sorry, bro. This is your stepping on your toes.
No. I was trying to have a point of, camaraderie there. I was like, hey, now that you've introed the show, do you not also feel like it's now your responsibility as to whether the show goes correctly?
Well, I mean, I always feel like a little bit responsible.
Well, I guess it'd be wrong for you not to. You do have some responsibility. It'd be weird if you're like, I can do what I want and this show will be absolutely fine.
Yeah. So it's like, so Theo, do you want to intro the next section? Not particularly, mate. I had a lot of grapes just now. I was just still digesting. Can you do it?
You know what? Because I'm that good of a friend.
I know you would. I know you would. But no, not a good. People were looking at us and thinking, why won't he just break up with him?
Go his own way.
What a piece of shit. Go solo.
Make his own podcast. Why can't I do music, Lawrence? Oh, that's an awesome name for a podcast. I was saying in the pre-show that I keep plugging the quiz. Plugging the podcast at our pub quiz. I didn't tell you how badly this week's pub quiz went. The specialist subject for this week's pub quiz was Star Wars.
Okay.
Which you might think to yourself, hey, what could go wrong about that? Well, it turns out a lot when everybody in the in the room is a fan of Star Wars. Like as in a fanatic of Star Wars.
Oh, a fan.
Yeah.
A super fan.
So I'm going to read some of the controversial questions. Actually, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to do the Star Wars round with you.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. I can't, like, any of the more recent ones I probably won't know very much about.
Well, that's okay. What I'll do, after each one, I'll tell you, we'll go with what the answer is. And then if there's controversy because of the question, I will go into what the controversy is. So,
okay.
Question 1. What color is Luke's lightsaber?
What color is Luke's lightsaber?
Yes. What color is Luke's lightsaber?
Luke's lightsaber is
That is correct. Yep. I did
green.
shout at someone because he said, that's a trick question. I was like, no, it's not if you listen to the fucking question. 2. As of writing this question, how many Star Wars theatrically released movies have there been?
Oh, dude. So originals, sequels, the last 3, as in just Star Wars movies or a Star Wars story
A
movie?
Star Wars story counts as well, yeah.
We got those 9.
Yep.
And then there's Solo,
Mm-hmm.
Rogue One.
Mm-hmm. And that's it, right?
Do the Cantina Band have one?
No, but tell you what I found out. Turns out that the first episode of Clone Wars is actually a theatrically released movie and had its time in cinemas. So there's so there's 12. There's 12, and I said 11, and everyone got mad at me because apparently there's 12. Which Bristolian actor originally voiced the infamous Darth Vader?
No, I can't remember.
That's okay. It's David Prowse. Question 4. Warwick Davis played Ewok the Ewok Wicket in Return of the Jedi, but in what horror movie franchise does he play a small-statured fictional creature?
That's in Harry Potter.
In what horror movie franchise?
Oh, in what horror movie franchise?
I mean, you could think that Harry Potter's a horror movie if you're particularly scared of Daniel Radcliffe, but...
I don't know.
The answer is Leprechaun.
I haven't seen it.
That's all right. How many Death Stars have there been in Star Wars?
What, in canon or in the films?
In the films. I specifically said not in the books, not in all the extended stuff, just in the movies.
How many Death Stars?
Yeah, don't think too hard. So question. It's an easy one.
All right. Well, 1 then.
2.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the one in A New Hope.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if technically the other one was under a different name or something.
That's okay. I can understand why you think that, it being a pub quiz and all.
Yeah. Under duress, I probably would have put 2. In actual quiz.
The studio that created Star Wars is also famous for creating which franchise featuring a badass history teacher?
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Yep. This one you might not know. Star Wars video game Jedi Fallen Order features acclaimed actor Cameron Monaghan as a young Jedi in the middle of training. In what American version of a British TV series did he star?
The Office.
Close. Shameless. I got a lot of pushback on that. I didn't know that
they did an American Shameless.
It's got what's his name from Fargo in it? Mustache Man. The guy that's in Mystery Men as the shoveler.
Mystery Man?
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but you would recognise him if you saw him. And people got angry at me for that one because it wasn't a Star Wars question. And I was like, well, in every other version of this quiz that I've done, there have been questions which are loosely related to the specialist subject matter, because not everyone wants to hear about it. And they were like, no, just do the Star Wars questions. And I was like, no, and proceeded with... George Lucas is an executive producer of which musical featuring a character saying the line, "Oh, me? I'm just a worm."
The Labyrinth?
It is Labyrinth, yes, well done. And question 9, according to LucasArts game series The Legend of Monkey Island, the ingredients of grog are kerosene, propylene glycol, artificial sweeteners, sulfuric acid, rum, acetone, red dye number 2, scum, axle grease, battery acid, and what?
Lemons.
Close. Pepperoni.
Close. Yeah.
Food item. Yeah, close. And the final question
was not toenails.
No. The final question was Poe Dameron is played by acclaimed actor Oscar Isaac and stars opposite Adam Driver. However, what was their first film together where they shared the script for just a couple of scenes, along with legendary singer Justin Timberlake?
A film with Adam Driver, Justin Timberlake, and who?
Oscar Isaac. Although
Is that the
those
redhead?
three, huh?
Is that the ginger guy?
No, that's it's the hotshot fighter pilot.
Oh, Poe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
only
don't know.
It's inside Llewyn Davis. That caused a lot of controversy. The question just before that entire round caused the most controversy and caused a particular team to lose. And the question was, which classic sci-fi TV theme tune is played on an instrument called a theremin?
Doctor Who.
See, I thought it was the original Star Trek series. Turns out I was wrong. That it was written on a theremin and then was imitated for recording via voice. And then everybody was like, it's Doctor Who. And I was like, okay, well, if everyone has Doctor Who, then I must be wrong. So everyone have a point for Doctor Who. And then someone said, actually, Doctor Who doesn't have a theremin. It uses an orchestra imitating a theremin. So I was the most hated person at that quiz for the awful questions and the unresearched answers that I put out. It was a terrible time, but we managed to get a plug for the podcast in, so I'm happy.
Yeah, good.
Oh, so that was my week. That was my week, and that killed like maybe 10 minutes of podcast time. How's your week been? Again,
my week's been good. My week has been good. My week's not been very, very musical.
Nope.
But I said in the pre-show, I've got parts together to start building the MIDI controller that we've been discussing.
In the pre-show, we went into those in detail. So if you're a gearhead, you're missing out, man. If you're not subscribed to us on Twitch, subscribe.
Go watch.
Following us. You don't have to pay. There's no paywall. It's free. Sorry.
Yeah. So just been sort of steadily planning things in my head. Like I'm waiting. I might see, because I need a ventilator to do some soldering. And in here just ain't any good, especially with the rabbits.
In there is a fire hazard. Like, you're literally living in a fire hazard.
Yeah. In fact, with my hair, I am a fire hazard.
Yeah, you are. You're super flammable, man. Like, you might as well just be made of paper. Like, you might as well just, have a habit of leaving matches everywhere.
I might as well just be a pile of sawdust, mate.
You might as well just spit gasoline.
I might as well just fucking die.
You might as well just fart thermite.
Bloody hell. You might as well just be drinking nitroglycerin on a trampoline.
Oh, God. Oh, I've enjoyed the start to this podcast. Should we get on with business, though?
Yeah, let's get down to it.
Okey-dokey.
We doing the songs?
Yes. So, if you'd like to introduce this part of the show, sir.
So, there's a segment called Songs We Can't Get Enough Of. Every week, Lawrence and I take it in turns to bring...
Have you got your mouth full of food? Sorry, should I stall for a little bit while you're empty?
Finishing up a grape. No, I'm all good.
Okay, sorry.
So, no, I apologise. There's a part of the show called Why Can't I Do No, it's not.
Why Can't I Do Newton's Good? Where we talk about the best things that are affected by gravity.
Jesus. Right.
We both know Jesus isn't affected by gravity. Shut up.
And lo, Jesus did say unto them, gravity, lol, what? And ascended to heaven. Saying, I shall return, suckers.
Oh, and then he's like, whoop! He had the penny whistle.
Yeah, he had the swaddle as well. And he did play it through his ears, and there was much.
rejoicing.
There was there was much. I was going to say there was
Yay.
much gnashing of teeth.
But he didn't realise that actually he had forgotten his prescription of glasses, and he was talking to a load of gerbils. So I'm just imagining Jesus, like, after being in the cave for so long, just like the sun's in his eyes, he's not used them for 3 days properly, and he's just like goes up to a load of gerbils. My 12 apostles. And then they're just like
I thought they were just really far away.
Gravity, lol. What?
He didn't stop. Like, he just saw him. He's like, right, hey guys, I gotta go. Be good. I'll come back. Don't leave the stove on. Eat 3 meals a day.
And Sundays are really important. Just remember that.
Just remember it.
The gerbil,
I'll tell you what in a bit.
The gerbil's like, isn't it supposed to be Saturday? It's like, yeah, no, I've changed it. It's Sundays now. Bye.
And that's what the whole thing is. No, he meant Saturdays. He's infallible. He's the Lord. He meant Sundays. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You know what? We're going to go to war with our swanee whistles.
Woo, woo, woo.
Nice.
Right.
Anyway,
this is a part of the show called Songs We Can't Get Enough Of.
Yep.
So Lawrence and I take it in turns every week to bring a song to the show that, for whatever reason, we just can't get enough of. We might love the instrumentation or the lyrics or just something about it. And it was Lawrence's turn to bring one today. I should just say before you go, Lawrence, we have a playlist on Spotify called Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs We Can't Get Enough Of. That's been updated today with the song that we're talking about. And you can listen through to everything that we've talked about in previous shows. And it's a really good playlist, man.
Yes,
it's
it
just
is.
even if you don't like listen to it alongside the show, just go and get some music in you. It's just good stuff. So Lawrence, what's your song?
Well, this week so this is a song that I've been coming back to time and time again over the course of probably the last year. Now, it is played a lot on the radio, so that's not my fault, and that could be the reason why I like it so much. But it's Circles by Post Malone. There was actually, I was considering 2 songs for this. I was considering Circles, but I was also considering Sunflower from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. Maybe that would have been a better song, but I chose Circles, and maybe we'll talk about Sunflower another day. But first off, I understand the confusion when I say Post Malone on this show. Like, oh my God, is there something wrong with us? We're featuring a modern chart-topping song on the playlist. First off, I'm very sorry. Sorry about that, buddy. Look, I know we talk big talk, we fight good fights, but we're also human. I'm sorry, dude. And sometimes all it takes is for a song to stay with us. Is that it's catchy and it doesn't have the worst lyrics in the world.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's all it is.
So sometimes all you need to do is be able to hear a song and not go, ugh. You know?
Especially with the last year we've had. Like, because the amount of media that we consumed over the last year is crazy. Like, we haven't had anything to distract us from the amount of media we've consumed. Like, anytime anything remotely different happened, hundreds of thousands of people jumped on it because there wasn't anything else to do. So, So the fact that a song, I think it was released on the back end of 2019, but featured heavily throughout this year, and it wasn't a song that I was like, oh, this song again. It was just a song that was there, and sort of wormed its way like a little bomb into my brain. So first off, sorry, we'll do better next time. Get all that niche stuff in there.
Yeah. Back to the elitism, Hobbs.
Exactly. But for now, I would like to say that I think Post Malone is underrated by the music snobbery community. I think that the music snobbery community needs to start accepting him into the fold as like because if you look at his other stuff, it's on average it's good, and he's a good instrumentalist. I don't know if you've seen online his cover of this. There's this Bob Dylan song that he covers, and it's just him and an acoustic guitar, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like not what you'd expect. Not what you expect. Like I'd recommend it. Like I get it. Like lots of normal people like him, so that's why the music snobbery community would kind of push him away. And he looks like he hasn't bathed since he moved out of his parents' house, and he's got those dumb tattoos on his face, and like that.
What was the song that you covered?
Let's have a look. See.
Well, I'll just write Bob Dylan. I wasn't sure if you'd mentioned it, and I couldn't remember.
I did not mention it.
Okay, don't worry. I'll find it then.
It was. Don't think twice is all right.
Cool.
Don't think twice is all right. Yeah. So that all being part of Post Malone's image, it's a recipe for pushback.
Sure.
But I think guys, I'm talking everyone at home. We need to stop this now. We need to stop now. And I think Post Malone is legitimate talent, and I think he should be put in the same box as Ariana Grande and Dua Lipa, of the box of popular artists that just happen to be pretty good at what they do. I think they deserve at least that. I don't know if he's going to go down in the music legends category, but I think as artists go, for now, he's not one that you necessarily have enough ammunition to hate on anymore.
Sure.
Yeah. Saying that, I do have a couple of major complaints about this song.
Okay.
One of them, there is one lyric in it that Meg pointed out just before the show started, which I have to agree with her. There is a lyric in it that's just bad. Just a bad lyric. And the lyric is, I thought that we was special, but it was just the sex, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad lyric. I understand what he's trying to say. It's just worded badly. And grammatically, it doesn't scan quite right. It sounds like it's incorrect English, but I don't. I think apart from having a preposition at the end, I think that's the only thing with which is wrong with it.
Proud of you, buddy.
Thanks, man. The other complaint I have about it is that there's way too much reverb on the verses. I don't know who thought that sounded good, because it doesn't. It's just it's like he retreats into his own brain for the verses. It's just like however, everything else about the song I love. The lyrics about a breakup are sincere and honest and balanced, and Malone talks just as much about his flaws as his partner's flaws. The instrumentation choice is great, and actually is quite a rare instrumentation choice for modern pop music. So that it's just two. You've got your drum kit, which is just a standard producer drum kit. There's nothing too special about the bass apart from the fact that it pops, really pops. And the bass line is pretty damn sick. The do 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 boop 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 doop, and it's very 90s in that tune. And the drums do a really good they do a really good job of supporting everything else. Like everything is carried on the shoulders of those drums. Yes. So the producer on this did a really good job with that drum kit, man. But the thing that's kind of different is the other instruments. It's just two clean electric guitars. Just two electric guitars on the clean setting, bit of reverb. It's real simple, real nice.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. It is simple, but it does fill up the space, man. It's a mix.
Yeah. And you don't. It's so understated as well that you don't, unless you're thinking about the instrumentation. Like, I can listen to this as a musician, but I can also listen to this as a listener, and I'm just like, this just like washes over me with just a big old sound, which you can dive into if you want to do that sort of listening. And we'll be talking about that later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the song's great. The more I think about it, maybe I should have picked Sunflower, but like I said, I've made my choice.
We got other shows. But yeah, so like I quite liked like the with the intro to the song, the delay on the guitar, just classic. I just really liked it, the intro.
And that's a Strat as well. You can tell it's a Strat. Yeah, it sounds good.
I mean, personally, I can't. But,
okay, so there's like this. So there's a certain quality that Strats just sound really great on the clean setting.
Okay.
Like my favorite guitar is the Tele, but they were made to have effects put on them.
Sure.
Like they were made to have very rudimentary 1970s delay and distortion and stuff like that. But the Strat was the guitar player's electric guitar, and it was made to sound clean. It was made so you could really hear the space between the notes. You could almost feel the action of the guitarist's fretting hand, and it just like that's why there's not a huge amount of fret buzz on Strats, because they're just made to sound great when they're clean.
Fair enough. I guess I just need to actually Google a comparison.
To be fair, I haven't Googled anything. I've literally just like said
you just
what I
know
thought.
The sound.
I just said what I thought, so I could also be talking out of my bottom.
No, I don't mean Google it. I mean basically find a YouTube video where Aga's got a Strat and a Tele and puts them both on.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be an interesting exercise. So yeah, I mean, what I've said everything I want to say about this song. What would you like to say about it?
Well, I mean, yeah, effectively, I agree with most of what you say.
What do you disagree with?
Sorry?
What do you disagree with?
I'm not even sure. I don't necessarily think that there was too much verb on the vocals, because it was again, I think it was sidechained to a compressor.
Okay.
So which in this case means that it was turned way down while he was actually singing, and then it was released, when that signal stopped.
Okay, so maybe it's just a personal preference thing for me then.
Well, yeah, it's always going to be a personal preference thing, but yeah, I mean, at the very least, it didn't stick out to me as a problem.
Okay.
Now that you've mentioned it, if I go back and listen to it again, I might be like, oh yeah, actually.
But I might also listen to it and be like, actually, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so good pick.
Thank you very much, my friend.
I didn't mind it.
You didn't mind it. Don't get us wrong. Like, sometimes we will pick songs that the other person doesn't agree with. That's okay. Like, it's not that we have to agree on the song. It's just this playlist is just to get us thinking about music differently, and to get those people around us thinking about music differently, and forcing ourselves to think about music in a critical way. And yet again, we will go into this later in the show. Oh, it's all linking back.
I would say you can't see the little smile on my face, but yeah, when you started being like, yeah. I thought, he's doing it.
I'm doing it. So going from a good breakup song to a bad one, I want to, for the song that didn't get that I don't think has got enough love. I've picked.
Oh yeah, do you want to intro this bit?
So we always try to balance things out. We don't just want to recommend music, because I think it's valuable to not just suck the dicks of everyone around us. Like, I think it's valuable for us to be able to practice our craft. We also have to be critical of it.
Suck some dicks, but also bust some balls.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Just don't bust the same balls that belong to the dick, because that's just you won't you access to the dick will henceforth be disallowed.
I'm going to cut you off there.
Yeah, please do.
So, we on the flip side, we like to also talk about a song that didn't quite get enough love either in the studio or in the songwriting process, or sometimes even even we want to talk about the artist not giving themselves enough love or not doing things the right way. Essentially, we have found a song that we think we can improve. And this week,
What do you got?
I would like to talk about Always the Last to Know by Amitri. Now, when you say that, immediately people think, I don't think I've ever heard this song. You absolutely have heard this song. Like, had you heard this song before?
I'm not sure that I had,
Okay.
How old is it?
Well, we'll get to that. Because as I discovered, it has a big old red flag in it. So, when you start listening to a track and there's a really early warning sign that the song is going to be bad, but you don't notice until the song is already bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the intro of this song happens, what decade would you say it's from? Now I know that you're going to question yourself and probably get the right answer now because of the fact that I've asked that question, and we're the sort of people that when you ask particular questions, we know right this is a loaded question, therefore I'm not going to fall into the trap. But yeah,
well, you know what? I don't know.
Okay.
No, to be honest, no particular decade sticks out to me about it. Are you just talking lyrically?
No,
or
I'm
musically?
talking about, production-wise.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, I guess I'm not remembering it properly.
That's okay.
But
that's okay.
Why don't you tell me what answer I would have given?
Well,
if I could remember.
Well, I'll tell you what answer I'll tell you what I thought when I first heard this song, and for the longest time until I researched it for this show, I thought it was a song from the 80s. I thought that because those drums have absolutely been mixed to sound like an electric kit.
Right.
They feel very electric kitty. Turns out it's 1992 that it comes out. Now, around 86, like, people kind of got over the whole, oh my god, synths are crazy, right?
Yeah.
Thing. Like, before 86, if you didn't have a synth in your song, you were not going to be on the radio. Like, Bruce Springsteen, who did rock music, had an album at the time and hit songs where there was nothing but synths. No guitars, just synths and electric drum kits. The Boss did that, okay? That's how crazy people were for synths. And I don't blame them because they were invented mid-70s. And mid-70s, and they essentially they were specialist equipment until the late 70s, early 80s, in which they became like much more available to everybody, and everyone just went, I could do this, and they had a lot more applications as well.
Actually,
just
done a little Google. The first electronic sound synthesizer, an instrument of awesome dimensions, was developed by the American acoustical engineers Harry Olson and Herbert Billar in 1955.
Bloody hell.
1955.
So, well, regardless of when it was
the
invented...
year that Marcy McFly went back to. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. Hey, listen to this.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening, we're imitating that scene from Back to the Future.
I'm just trying to think of a famous synth artist.
Hey, Flock of Seagulls,
it's your cousin. Yeah,
Pet Shop Boys, listen to this.
It's your cousin. Group of seagulls. You know that new sound you've been looking for?
Oh god. Well, for some reason, the producer on this track wanted it to sound like it was from this era. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine, artistic choice, all that, but the message of this song cannot be forgiven. And this is why I want to talk about it. This is the bit that didn't get enough love. So, it starts off sounding like it's about a couple that are growing apart, that they've stopped communicating with each other, and that as a result, the protagonist of this song, which I'm going to assume is the singer, it sounds very much like he's talking about his own life here. He's the last to find out when changes occur for his partner, hence the title. And it's very sad, and it's in a minor key, and the singer's talking about how they were a perfect couple, and how he was such a good boyfriend, and now she's found someone else, and you really feel for the guy. You're absolutely on his side. And you're there for the entire song until the final chorus. So the choruses have been doing this fun thing where one of the lyrics change a little each time round. So I'm going to cough again. Thank you. So yeah, the chorus changes a little each time round, and for like the first time, it's wanting to know if the new partner of his ex treated her the way he treated her. The second time, it's if he pleaded with her like he pleaded with her. And the final chorus is, or is he cheating on you like I cheated on you? And you realize, yeah, like what the fuck? Like you realize.
You know what? It's like if you're sitting down, if you meet someone at a party and they seem to be going through a breakup and they're talking about what happened. It's like, yeah, I just came home one day and she was just like screaming and shouting at me, and she wouldn't stop, and that's when I knew that things had to end. So I just walked out. It's like, oh, well, what was she screaming and shouting about? Oh, it's because I slept with her best friend. It's like, okay, well, then I'm not on your side, am I? You start with that. And
yeah, like, it's just, like, you realise that this whole time, they haven't grown apart. There's no slow breakdown of communication. He cheated on her, so they broke up, and now, rightfully so, she doesn't want to talk to him. And he's got his willy in a wonk because, like, sorry, I wrote that down as a joke, and I really
he's got his willy in a wonk.
He's got his willy in a wonk because he still wants to know all the shit that's going on with her. I'm sorry, buddy, you don't get that privilege anymore.
Yeah, you're not allowed anymore. You don't. It's like if she had cheated on you and then you out on her, would it be okay for her to get mad that you haven't let her know when you start seeing somebody else?
Exactly. It's
like, why either way would it be any of your business, even if you broke up amicably?
Yeah.
Like you don't automatically get to know.
Like, also by the way that you reveal it to us in this song, to us the listeners, it sounds like you're a bit of a narcissistic prick. Like, you had several options with this song. Like, one, you either not mention the cheating, and then it's a breakup song where we feel bad for you. Yeah? Two, you could not make me feel bad for you earlier in the song, state it like it is. You cheated, you're a bad person, and now you're sad. Yeah? Or, and here's how I suggest that they improve the song as well. This is the third option, and it's my favourite option. We change the mood of the song. Make it a comedy song. Okay? You change the key to something like an A flat minor, and like you really lean into the whole, like, the grumblesome, moanly, wailiness that key can offer. Then you go real hard on the final chorus. Has he put a restraining order on you, like you did to me too?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
did you tell him? Yeah, go on.
Like the outdoor type.
Yes.
It's like how it reveals more and more to you how little this guy is the outdoor type.
Exactly. Like, did you tell him to stop building a makeshift nest in that tree in your garden so that he could look at you through the window, like you said to me? And if you throw in a cheesy key change for good measure to really play up the yes, I am the victim here feel of the track. But yeah, as it is originally, it's just a manipulative guy who dupes the audience into rooting for a bad person and then takes great pleasure in revealing that's what he's done. We feel awful, but he is awful.
Yeah, well put.
I
don't know, man.
Well, do you think I covered everything?
Yeah, I think you did. That's why I don't know.
That's okay. Like, I don't know if there's anything more we can say about this song because it's a pretty there's only
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is there anything you liked about the lyrics?
Like I said, I do like the fact that it does that fun little changing the lyric every time the chorus comes around. I like it when songs do that.
Yeah.
And there's a song that Meg has been playing recently. I think it's a re-release of a song that involves Tegan and Sarah, and every time the chorus rolls around, the gender of the person changes because the idea is that they want to portray that love itself is genderless and therefore it can be applied to any gender. So
sure,
it does male and then does female, and then in the final chorus it does non-binary. So I like it when things do that. So I that's the part of the reason why I like this, why I like that bit of the song. I also kind of like the guitar work, although the guitar work at the beginning it stands out, but as soon as the rest of the track happens, the guitar work is kind of lost and everything else just becomes part of the noise, and not in the same way that it did for Post Malone. So,
well, I was going to say, like Post Malone did something similar but different, right?
Like it feels like it got lost in the noise as part of an accident rather than because it was a production decision. So that's the song. That's the song.
Not enough love.
Not enough love. Not enough love. So I guess that moves on to the main topic for the show. It's your topic this time. So
it's my topic today.
Yeah.
So Lawrence has brought a song that he can't get enough of and a song that didn't get enough love, and we've talked about them. And again, you can listen to the song that we can't get enough of on the playlist. Why Can't I Do Music Good? Songs we can't get enough of. But we're also trying to answer the question that is the title of this podcast, which is why can't I do music good? And so this week it's my turn to bring a reason as to why what's holding me back, basically. It's the why we're bad at making music part of the intro.
Yeah.
And then the what we're trying to do about it.
Yeah.
And so as you know, Lawrence, I've got to be making noise. So like when I'm listening to music, I'm usually singing along, or I'm beatboxing, or I'm drumming or whistling or something. And I just love singing, and I love putting music on and singing along to it. But I've realized sort of in the last few years, holding me back from becoming a better musician. Okay. And I think it's because really that I'm not, if I'm singing or if I'm improvising along, I'm not listening to it. I'm just using it as a backing track, basically.
You're essentially just being a protagonist in your own movie, and the music is just the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah. I'm just imagining good-looking women walking past me and just
and then
their heads.
Morpheus turns up and says, "Are you listening to the music, Theo, or are you looking at the woman in the red dress?"
So, I was just hoping you'd hear me sing. But
Mouse is like, would you like me to arrange a duet with you in the woman in the red dress?
I want to do Baby It's Cold Outside.
It's got everything the body needs.
Show me.
It's why pop music sounds like everything.
Yeah. It's the
it took a second to drop, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I need instruments. Lots of instruments.
Lots of instruments. Oh, just. Oh no, I've got the imagery. Hang on, wait. Wait. Right, hang on. So they walk into the building and put the thing through the metal detector. Guard comes up, says, "Can you please remove any metallic items you may be carrying? Keys, loose change." Whips open his coat and there's just like
harmonicas.
Yeah, and he's like, "Holy shit!" Then he starts going.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
And the SWAT guys come out and they've got like cornets and trumpets and shit. And they go, "Freeze!"
And all this is being done with Rob D's score going on in the background, so it makes sense. But then at 1 second, like one moment, it cuts to like an outside person's point of view, and there's no score. It's just people going.
It's just and just like falling over. The pillars still exploding in little bits. God. Oh.
Oh god.
And then hang on, wait, I've got more. And they fight their way through the room. They get in the lift, it stops, so they get up on the roof and they're like hanging onto each other, and he's ready to pull the cord, and he's like, "There is no spoon," and he shoots it, and they go. The fire behind them with the sunglasses.
Oh, why didn't you have that when we're talking about Jesus?
Oh, sorry.
Oh god, sorry. Oh, this is gonna be a long podcast. I'm not gonna want to cut any of that out.
No, don't. So why can't I do music good? Because I can't hold a thought in my head for 2 minutes. So, oh, you're gonna have to give me a sec now.
That's all right. So as far as I'm aware, you're coming at this from a very eclectic point of view, but I've got a load of notes about this subject that specifically targets it from a non-musical person. Sorry, not a non-musical person, but a non-musician. Someone who's not au fait with like everything to do with the construction of music.
Sure.
Because I think to keep it like I've realized that on topics like this, it's difficult to sound like an unrelatable. It's difficult to not sound like an unrelatable, pretentious arsehole. So
maybe,
I'm bringing it back to the people.
Well,
I got you. Your boys, you're back. Immediately sounds like a unrelatable, pretentious asshole. Hold on, let me put this cap on backwards and sit on this chair backwards real quick.
In summary, the reason that I think that I can't do music good is because I'm, rather than paying attention to the music or my singing, I'm paying attention to singing along to the music. So I'm listening to music. It means that I'm not hearing it properly. There's details that I'm missing, and I could be sitting here with my eyes closed paying attention, and that benefit me, but it also means that I'm not able to monitor my own singing properly. So and I find that when I'm singing on my own, like when I'm singing just without any music to back me, it's harder. But I don't know if it's harder or if I'm now just noticing when I'm sharp and flat.
Yeah.
and I'm trying to compensate for it. But either way, like if I can't sing on my own, then that's something that I need to practice.
Yeah.
And if I'm sort of singing over my music, over the music that I play all the time, then I'm not learn anything about that music. And like listening to Post Malone, it was exactly the same thing, because I was sitting here and I was going, okay, well, there's the bass. I know what's going on with that. Now I want to switch my bass, and then the synth or the guitars or what have you. Just not being able to sing along just sort of forces you to listen to it and think about.
So do you, when you listen to a song, do you have like a process that you go through? Do you know when you're actively listening to it versus when you're just listening to it?
Yeah. So like when I'm actively listening, wherever I like to be between my monitors, so that I get an idea of what it sounds like when it's relatively balanced, rather than what it sounds like through this pair of speakers that might be sit in the bass, because they're not designed for reference, and yeah, like I have become used to hearing songs like that, and it, I guess, to the point where I would probably really notice a pair of sort of non-reference speakers now.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't like, and I don't know if it's something that that a non-producer, a non-musician would notice or not, but I feel like possibly, because you get used to things sounding a certain way, and these are designed not to sound that way. They're designed to sound accurate.
Yeah, so I had the analogy before we started the show of it being kind of like McDonald's, in that if you like, we all eat food, and so when you get a McDonald's burger, it you might get cravings for a McDonald's burger, and you might eat a McDonald's burger and it satisfies its cravings, and it fills you up, and it tastes good. But if you then become a foodie, or even a burger aficionado, McDonald's burger is only going to satisfy a very certain criteria for you now, because you'll have got all this experience and have deliberately put yourself in a position where you have to analyze your experience and judge it and put it into various categories. A few years ago, Meg and I, we tried to eat every like specialist burger in Bristol, and we even went to Bath. And after a little while, like before we started doing that, I used to think that Five Guys was the best burger you could buy. After doing this thing, like, I realized that actually Five Guys was good, and for certain situations it was exactly what I needed. But there were other burgers that were just explicitly better. And I think that when you would do that for music as well. So we so do you remember back in the day when you and I were real young, before the download age had fully kicked in? So for those youngsters listening, the way we had to consume music when we were younger is that the only way to access music is to buy a physical copy of it, whether that be a vinyl or a cassette or a CD. We had just got into the download age, but you had to spend your money on one copy of that thing. So you could buy a digital version of your favorite album, but you had to spend money on the album. And now with the streaming age, you spend less money per month on than what you paid for an album. You have access to literally everything.
on iTunes.
Yep.
Just crazy.
Yeah, and that had some interesting effects. So because you were limited by your income and time as to what you were able to consume as a listener, you started listening to very specific things. So you would tend to get yourself fit into a genre of music, and then you would explore that genre of music. Like there was, well, actually, it was one of two things. You'd either get yourself into lots of genres of music and just buy just buy records from a few of the bigger artists of all those genres, or you would get into one or two genres of music, and you'd buy as much as you could from those one or two genres. And it meant that the way that we consume music now is so different from how we used to, because there's less investment. So it's no surprise that the songs that are getting hits on the radio, or at least in the late 2010s, it were songs that were on adverts, rather than songs that we'd gone out and purchased, because we weren't making those decisions. And so we as a generation, we had stopped actively listening because we didn't need to actively listen anymore. It was about how much you could consume. So I also have a process where I will either actively listen or not, and I don't know. It depends on my mood as to whether I do. And my active listening process is that in fact, I think by definition, I might also still be not actively listening. I might actually be doing a bad thing. But what I try to do is that I listen to a song, and then I kind of try and predict where it's going to go. And then if it doesn't go that way, I try and work out why it didn't go that way. What was the decision that was made that made it a different decision to what I would have made as a musician?
Okay.
So I found online a list of things to do or things to pay attention to actively listen. I don't know if you've also found a list like that.
I haven't found a list like that. No.
Okay.
But you said you found this online.
Sorry, I gave you the wrong one. The one that I found was on masterclass.com, and it's going to load the page and tank the stream again. Yes, please. The article is how to build music listening skills. And it's just a list of 5 things, and it's specifically aimed at musicians. But it's a list of 5 things that that musicians can do when they want to actively listen to music. So what I did.
So I have this list.
You have this list. Cool. Do you want to read it out?
Well, yeah. So do you want me to read them out one by one, and then you can, because you've sort of transcribed it?
Do you want to read them all out, and then I'll explain what I've done?
Okay. Sure. So this article says, by listening for each of these 5 components of a piece of music, you can build up your active listening skills. Number 1, instrumentation. Do you just want the list, or do you want the descriptions?
You can do descriptions if you want.
So, number 1, instrumentation. As an active listener, see if you can identify every musical instrument on recording. If you're hearing the music live, try to pick out the individual lines played by each musician. Number 2, structure. In popular music, listen to the song form, i.e. verse, chorus, bridge, etc., to study how the songwriter structures the tune. In classical music, try to identify formal structures such as a fugue, a sonata form, or a dance style like a rondo or a mazurka. Having a background in music theory will help immensely in this regard. Number 3 is a music style. Is the music you're hearing aligned with a particular musical genre? Do you hear elements of other genres as well? Number 4, technique. Decide for yourself whether you like the way the instrumentalists and vocalists perform. You may love what you hear, or you may note imperfections. And number 5, lyrics. Focus on imagery, figurative language, and rhyme scheme.
So I looked at that list and I was like, okay, this is really cool, but it's not very. It's kind of alienating if you're not a musician. It almost says if you're not a musician, you can't actively listen to music. And I disagree with the idea that you can't actively listen to music if you're not a musician. So, what I did is I took that list and I've made a altered list for people who are completely like out of the loop when it comes to music. Like you're not a music connoisseur. You don't play an instrument. All you do is occasionally hear music. So this is like the very base level of what active listening could be. So shall I share that with you now?
Yeah, do.
So first off, so we're gonna read that the list on the website again, one by one, and I'll give my equivalent version of it.
Okay. So number 1, instrumentation.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So instrumentation. So as a non-musical person, I might know a bit about instrumentation. I might know what instruments there are. I might know kind of what they do. I might know how some of them sound, but I'm not an expert on them. So for instrumentation, I've replaced that with listen for cool sounds. Are there any background noises that you might have missed otherwise? So a really good example Meg gave me earlier as well. Phoebe Bridgers' song Kyoto. And it was just a good song that she really, really liked. And when she started actively listening to it, there is a part in the song where Phoebe Bridgers just goes, woo! And it's just, it's so subtle and small and little, but it makes the song for her. Like,
yeah.
And it was totally missed otherwise. So stuff like that, and any weird songs, any weird sounds, anything that just goes, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Like,
there is that occasionally. Mother Superior by Coheed and Cambria.
Yep.
There's a bit in the second chorus, "Stay afraid, young brother," and then the piano does it like a.
Yeah.
So every time that happens, I'm like, nom, nom, nom. So good.
There's on the song "Just What I Needed" by the Cars. There's a bit where, and this is me with my own limitations of musical brain. There's a bit where I know the drums are different. I know that the snare hits on a different thing, but I don't know how to describe that. And I know that for me, that makes the song really interesting for me when I listen to it again. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know what they're doing, but I know that drums sound different. It sounds really cool. I like it. What's the second part on that list? Structure. Okay, so this is more me just defining that. So number 2, listen to how the song is made up. How does the song change as it goes on? Where do the verses and choruses begin and end? Do they feel the same each time, or do they change? So it's just like listening to, like, rather than being like, okay, so this is a verse chorus structure and then there's a bridge, and it's just going, it's at the very base level, it's going, okay, so the song does this, the song starts off by doing this thing, and then you just need to identify, okay, at this point it does something different, and that thing comes back later on. Okay, so that's it does that thing, and it changes from here, it changes here, and so the first time it does this thing, it sounds this way, and the second time it does this thing, it sounds different, and I don't quite know how it sounds different, but I know it sounds different. So yeah, at the base level, yeah, that's what we're listening for. What was the third bit?
Style.
So I've gone a bit off with this one because I feel that style as a word is very much a I know a bit about music sort of word. So
sure,
what I've done is feeling. How does the music make you feel? What emotions does it bring up? Does it make you uncomfortable? Does it make you feel relaxed? because certain genres of music are certain styles of music automatically equate certain emotions. Like rock music tends to be more negatively emotion based. Hip hop music is can be either or. Pop music tends to be more positively emotion based. So I think that if you are going to reduce it down to layman's terms, rather than think about style, think about how the song makes you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, number 4 is technique.
Okay, so this one was difficult. And in active listening, this is something which, to begin with, if you're going from the base level, you're probably not going to have a huge amount of input on. But I have said mistakes. Do you notice any mistakes? A bum note, a bad lyric? Ask yourself the question, what would I have done? Now, that, to begin with, when you start active listening, you're probably not going to have very much of that. It's just a song, you like the song, it sounds good, that's fine. You don't have to have any answers for any of these. Just as long as you've asked yourself the question. And this is cool because this is a bridge. This being able to answer this part starts to build a bridge between being a listener and being a connoisseur. The more you can answer this part, the more you're a connoisseur of the music. And because if you, like, let's go to burgers again. If you have eaten every single type of burger there is, you know what makes a burger good and makes it bad. And you know, like, the more you eat burgers, even if you don't have the words to describe it, you can be like, okay, this burger's good because it tastes better. This burger's good because it's cheaper. This burger's good because, like, you know the reason why it's good. You might not have the words to describe it, but you know the reason why. Sorry, and the last one.
And finally, lyrics.
So yeah, this is much the same as for musicians as non-musicians. So what's the story or message? How effective are the words they've chosen? And at this point, you can start to merge things with mistakes, like. With feeling. How do the lyrics make you feel? Are there any you don't like? What would you change? So it's almost like you have to treat the music and the lyrics as two different things.
So, the point I was going to make is like, so it's like "Heya" is very sad. It's a sad song.
Yeah.
It's about how love doesn't last, and there's even a bit in it where he says, "Y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all just want to dance," and it's true, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I realized a couple of weeks ago that the song that's on the playlist, the Nina Simone song, "I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free."
Yeah.
I'd listen to that song and I'd be like, "Oh, this bop. Listen to that piano and all the snaps in the background," and then. At one point, I was like, "This is a really sad song." It's not saying, "Oh, I want to be free." It's saying, "I don't know what freedom feels like."
Yeah, it's the same with like Motion City Soundtrack as well, because their songs are about breakups and people dying and hating yourself. But the music is so fun and makes you feel good about singing these lyrics about comparing yourself to a bicycle that's going to explode. Like it happens a lot, and I think so. This is the reason why we have the section for songs we can't get enough of and songs that didn't get enough love, because it forces us to actively listen to the songs.
Yeah.
And to try, it's difficult because you not only have you got to find a song that you like so much that you would play it again and again and again, you have to then talk about it. You have to explain why you like it. And the other way around, not only do you have to find a song that you don't like, you've got to go out of your way to find songs you don't like.
Yeah.
Like, it took me a while to find songs that I don't like.
Yeah, and that's another thing as far as the active listening goes. It's like when I'm playing music, because I want to be singing, I will only, I tend towards music that I already know, which isn't any good in expanding, my understanding of how pop music works, for example, because I just don't listen to modern pop.
Yeah, like,
So,
and I've tried to try and, so that's another thing, is that when I first introduce myself to a genre, I have to not actively listen to it. I have to just allow. I have to consume it in the same way that I know other people are consuming it. I need to consume it not with a critical ear. So, I said a few weeks ago I started listening to emo rap, with artists like XXX Temptation and Kid Cudi and Lil Peep and stuff like that. And the reason why I didn't like it to begin with is because I started listening to it with a critical ear. And it's almost being pessimistic. You are expecting not to enjoy it, which is why you actively listen to it. If you just go, you know what, I'm just going to put this music on and see if, I'm just going to put it on. I'm not going to really bother listening to it. I'm just going to have it as background noise. It makes it way more accessible. So I think that that's a useful skill for musicians who are always actively listening to music. Like, you need to shut that shit off sometimes. And I hope that, like, the 5 points that I've made helps people who want to actively listen to music but don't have the musical skill to listen to music, make that more accessible. I'm just going to repeat them. Listen for cool sounds. Listen for how the song is made up. How does it make you feel? Any mistakes? What are the lyrics?
Easy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realise that we'd come to a conclusion that's so nice and neat and wrapped up. Also, I'm very sorry. I did actually. I feel like I took over that a little bit.
That's fine, man.
So, yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah, you're. I mean, you. If you were going to say, "Oh, Theo, do you just want to take this?" I mean,
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I don't know how long.
Time for a wheel?
I don't know. So what we're gonna do is let's do a wheel. If we have time for it, you will hear it. If we don't have time for it, then maybe you'll hear a cut down version of it.
Yeah.
So let me just get the right window up, and I've gone. Hold on. There we go. Let's put it in the center. Center, please. Center, please. Center, please. Okay, and here we go. Spin the wheel of conversation. What is it going to land on? Spin the wheel of conversation. Behold the power of random. Oh, okay. The wheel has landed on. What artist do we most look like? What artist do we most look like? I have been told that there's one particular artist that I've been told I look like, and I don't agree with it. I don't think it's correct.
Okay.
The lead singer of Kaiser Chiefs. He's gonna. I think his name's Ricky. Is it Ricky?
Hang on. Kaiser Chiefs members. Let's see. Ricky Wilson.
That's it. Allegedly, I look like him. Now, this was a while ago. I was not as fat. I didn't have as big of a beard. But this is what I've been told I look like.
You look absolutely nothing like him.
Okay, that's fine.
What? I mean, sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I can't even see it. I can't see. I can't. It's not like even I go. Well, not really. It's just like you just don't.
Okay, so I don't know what artist I do look like. I know that the beard makes me like my facial features can look a bit ragabone-man-y, but my facial expressions don't move in that way. So maybe we need to identify one for each other.
Yeah, well, I think you I've got like, if there is an artist out there, country
I
artist.
agree.
So I'm just thinking of your like lumberjack shirt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. For me, I'm because the thing is, it basically when people think about who I look like, it starts and ends at the head.
It's always
like
it's
Scott,
always Claudio Sanchez, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not, because nobody even. I wish it was always Claudio Sanchez. That'd be
Well, the thing is, Claudio Sanchez has like way more heft to him. Like,
yeah,
he's got a completely different face to you.
Yeah, he's just absolutely the same. But
yeah.
For me, it's the Cordon Bleu from High School Musical.
Oh yeah. Or is it the guy from what is it? That Britain's Got Talent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diversity.
That's it.
Yeah. It's those two. I mean, are we talking about which musician we look most?
Yeah, it's supposed to be which artist do we most look like.
Sure. Well, I don't know.
Maybe Meg can help with this one. What musical artist do you think Theo most looks like? She's just gone. Don't know. What about?
That's a tough one.
I might
have journey to.
Hold on.
I might have to journey to a browner climate to find an artist that looks like me.
I might have. Let me have a quick Google of this.
Can we image search each other?
Okay, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Omar Rodriguez Lopez.
Oh. I said we'd have more tropical.
Yeah.
Omar who? Sorry.
Rodriguez Lopez. Now he has bigger. He does have some facial features that don't match up.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing: if you mix Omar and Cedric together from the Mars Volta, you could look like their child.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be more worried about how they're able to have a biological child together.
Well, let's not worry about that. But if they were, then maybe you would be that child.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I'm looking at this photo now. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so the artist you most look like is the Mars Volta.
Pair of them.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, a bit of progressive math rock.
All right.
Have you done me?
Who does Lawrence Hobbs look
Who do I look like? Meg says I look like Scott Hutchinson.
Scott Hutchinson.
From Frightened Rabbit. I do look a bit like Scott Hutchinson. If Scott Hutchinson and the lead singer of Kaiser Chiefs had a baby, maybe that.
Who's it? What's the guy's name from the Decemberists?
The guy from the Decemberists. Which guy? Lead singer.
The front man with the big old beard.
What did you say it was? Colin.
Colin,
maybe.
Colin.
Oh, I just realised with my hats.
Decemberists.
With my hats, if my beard was longer, I'd look like Bon Iver.
Oh, I don't know what Bon Iver looks like.
Me with a bigger beard.
Beard. Thanks.
Hold on, let me.
Colin Meloy. Meloy. Is the frontman of December.
Okay. You know what? I will take both of those. I look like either Colin Meloy or Scott Hutchinson, and you look like collectively the Mars Volta.
That'll do. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. I'm just looking at Bon Iver.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, you know what? On that note, I think it's time to close out the show.
Tweaks is here. Sorry, I don't know how long ago. So, the one on the left, that's you.
Yep.
Looks like Zach Galifianakis if his hair was more brown.
Zach
Okay.
Galifianakis, if his hair was more brown and his eyebrows were less angry. Yes, I'm up for
Yeah.
that. And if I didn't
Hank
have two ferns next to me.
Brown.
I love
You
it.
also look a tad like Tom Segura, the stand-up comedian.
I'll take that. I'll take that absolutely.
He's funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We're going to have to start closing out the show. If you're part of the Twitch audience, we're going to have a shorter but still post show.
Yeah.
We're having a shorter post show tonight. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
I'll hang around for it though.
yeah. Yeah.
Not you. I know you're going to have to hang around for it whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, do not go anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, then maybe the VOD's still up. I don't know. If you're listening to the podcast, then please follow us on Twitch or watch us on YouTube and get involved. Get involved. But on that note, Theo, would you like to plug yourself?
yeah, my name's Theo Dehaney. You can find me on Instagram at Theo Dehaney Music, and at where else? On YouTube as Theo Dehaney, and that's Dehaney. Lawrence?
Excellent. My name is Lawrence Hobbs. If you would like to talk to me about anything that we discussed in the show today, then please hit me up on my Instagram, which is above my head, at lhobbsmusic. You can also find my videos of my music and previous video versions of the show at my YouTube channel, so Lawrence Hobbs. You can also search for Why Can't I Do Music Good. If you'd like to listen to my music, I'm on Spotify. Lawrence Hobbs. I have an EP called Leave Me for Worms, Don't Leave Me for Dead. And if you're listening to the audio podcast and you would like to get involved with the Twitch show, please follow us at twitch.tv/oddhobbs. That's twitch.tv/oddhobbs. And without further ado, good.